The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of a thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orbit of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. So, further going deeper into the Lord's form and beauty, previous verse says, in fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective view of all his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. So Lord Kapila is saying that one should not take him as a whole, but distinctly one should take darshan of each anga, so that enhances in our mind the personal form or personal feature of the Lord. Now, further going deeper into that aspect, each limb, so now Lord starts with lotus feet. So darshan has to start from, like Prabhupada says in the previous purport, one should begin from the lotus feet and gradually rise to the upper limbs of the transcendental body of the Lord. So now Lord Kapila is mentioning about lotus feet, how they are, what is their glory, and what one should do. So one should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet. Now here in this verse, the description of lotus feet is given in brief. Adorned with the marks of a thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, and a lotus. And what do these lotus feet do? They dispel the thick gloom of one's heart. So by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, by meditating on the toenails of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like shining like full moon, right? So when one meditates on them, the darkness or the ignorance in one's heart is removed. What is that ignorance? First ignorance is I am this body. Second ignorance is even though I am soul, I am Brahman. I'll merge into Brahman, or I want to become God. All these things are dispelled, right? So like we see just the lotus feet of the Lord alone. Of course, Brahma Samhita says, Angani yasa saklendriya vrittimanti. So there is no difference in any of the limbs of the Lord. What benediction his smiling face can grant, same benedictions his lotus feet can also grant. Right? What he can achieve by, or what Lord can accomplish by his various limbs, everything can be accomplished by his lotus feet also. So there is no difference. But still, the glories of lotus feet are very elaborately mentioned in the scriptures and in our Sampradaya particularly, because when we put tilak also, it resembles the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and tulsi leaf. So it signifies Sharanagati. Sharanagati means we have surrendered our head to the lotus feet of the Lord. So we don't directly jump to the lotus face of the Lord in Sahajya Bhav or Gopi Bhav, but it's a expression of surrender, that we have surrendered. We have accepted or placed lotus feet of the Lord on our head. And with Tulsi, the mood of Tulsi Maharani is always serving. She is always stuck at the lotus feet of the Lord in a servitor mood. So this signifies the mood of our Sampradaya, right? So now here are some marks, special marks are mentioned. So we know that on the lotus feet of the Lord there are total 19 marks. Right foot has 11 and left foot has 8. So Acharyas have mentioned the glories of these marks also, and today's description talks about 4: thunderbolt, gourd, banner, and lotus. But we see Rupa Goswami and other Acharyas, they have mentioned about many marks, many more marks, means 19. And what do they signify? So we'll just hear a little about these descriptions. So first is the right foot. Right foot is adorned with 11 marks, and first is called Jo. Jo means barley corn. So barley, actually, even if we see in Vedic rituals, even in our Narsimha Homa, or sometimes in when we see in Brahmosava or Patosava, for many, even Pran Pratishtha, many times we see barley is used for preparing special Vishesha Argya, Achman water, or some other upcharas. It is always used. Even in sacrifice, it is offered as one of the elements of sacrifice, one of the offerings of the sacrifice. So it is considered to be very auspicious. So barley, it signifies his devotees receive all enjoyable opulences and prosperity by serving his lotus feet. So when we serve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, the barley indicates that we will receive all enjoyable opulences of prosperity. And we can see that by serving Sri Sri Radha Madhav, we are enjoying so many opulences of prosperity, isn't it? So, and another significance of barley is that their sustenance of life. Annad bhavanti bhutani. So their sustenance of life. So the barley mark on the lotus feet of Krishna indicates that he is the life of his devotees, life and soul of his devotees. He sustains his devotees. Then second mark is chakra. Chakra means disc. So we know Sudarshan Chakra, his brilliance of Sudarshan Chakra is that it dispels not only material darkness but also the ignorance, not just the physical darkness but also the ignorance in the hearts of the devotees. And its brilliance is compared to thousands of suns, right? It's transcendental effulgence of Sudarshan Chakra. So Chakra on the and it dispels darkness, ignorance. So it indicates, it cuts down lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, and bewilderment. And Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. So when we meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, all these 6 anarthas are dispelled. These 6 anarthas are vanquished. And also it is indicative of Tej Tattva. Tej Tattva means the effulgence of the Lord. It symbolizes the effulgence or brilliance of the Lord. So the brilliance by which the darkness of sin within the heart of a devotee is destroyed. So those, just by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, one can become purified. The tendency to commit sinful activities is gone. Not just the sins are burnt away, but the sinful tendency is also burnt away. Right? And we see even the 4 Kumaras, they were of course liberated souls. They had nothing to do with sins. They were already liberated souls. But even for liberated souls, just the contact with lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, not even direct touching, not even the blessing or dust of the lotus feet has fallen, just the aroma of the tulsi leaves placed on the lotus feet of the Lord could dispel their last ignorance of impersonalism. Right? So this is the glory of the lotus feet. So one has to very firmly adhere to the lotus feet. Actually, if somebody does not surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, his fall down is inevitable. So anyway, next, Urdhva Rekha. Third is Urdhva Rekha, means a line going upward. So this line going upward indicates that a devotee who meditates on the lotus feet of the Lord, his journey is upward towards the higher realm, towards the spiritual world. So by meditating on lotus feet, his journey towards the spiritual advancement or progress towards the spiritual world is assured. Right? And also, the line which goes upward also comes down. So another indication is, his feet can reach down to the lowest fallen souls and deliver. Just like a rope is sent for somebody who has fallen into well. So Lord's lotus feet are like that they can deliver even the lowest fallen souls. And we have seen so many examples in scriptures who are not even Shudra, worse than Shudra, right? But just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna and his pure devotees, they became pure devotees. Right? They became pure devotees. So many examples are there, like Mrigari example. So he was a hunter. He was a forest dweller actually. Not even in Shudras come in civilized society. Civilized society has four varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They live in the civilized community or society which is governed by Vedic rules. Those who live outside that, like we said, Kirat Hunandra Kulinda Pulkasha, Abhir Shumba Yavna Kasadya, they are not a part of civilized society, not under the Vedic purview or jurisdiction. They are all beyond that, outcast. They are called outcast. So even such a, a hunter who is very cruel and merciless hunter, very tamasic hunter, but just by coming in touch with Narad Muni and starting worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, he became a pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta. So Lord's mercy is such that it will reach even up to the fallen souls. Anybody who takes shelter of his lotus feet, he will get delivered. Ashraya, Yadapashraya, Ashraya means taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then next is Kamal. So lotus, we know in the hands of lotus. Srila Prabhupada explains, Lord holds 4 ayudas in his hands. Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. So Shankha and Padma are meant to bless the devotees. Gada and Chakra are meant to kill the demons. Right? So this lotus, it signifies first that the feet are pure, transcendental. And second, that they are meant to bestow. Lotus symbolizes purity, gentleness, tenderness, and blessing. So when somebody takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, right, he becomes pure as a lotus, right? And the lotus in the lotus feet of the Lord, they are meant to benedict devotees by fulfilling their desires, give blessings to the devotee. Then next is the goad, Ankush, which is mentioned in today's verse also. So Ankush is actually one rod. It has a curve added to it, which is used to drive elephants, control the elephants. So it says that the lotus feet brings elephants of his devotees' minds under control. Because like we hear mad elephant syndrome, right? That is Hathi Mata. So mad elephant means somebody who goes crazy. Particularly it is used to indicate Vaishnava Aparadh. Somebody who does Vaishnava Aparadh, it is like mad elephant, which will destroy the Bhakti Lata. But elephant per se is very huge and very formidable, very difficult to control. Right? Like that mind is also, Arjuna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balvat dhidam. Balvat and dhidam. Very balvat, very strong, and dhid means very stubborn. So elephant is like that. You push an elephant, it will not move. Right? It is huge, it is big, strong. So to control or tame an elephant, and if it moves on its own momentum, in its own mood it starts moving, then who can control? Sometimes we see some festival elephant was going and he went ransacked everything. Isn't it? So there's nobody to control. People are just running helter-skelter. Oh, bhago, bhago, bhago. Like in the reels you'll see only bhago, bhago is. Nobody's saying I'll control him. Right? So mind is like that. So when mind goes crazy, then it can take away anybody. So when meditating, that effort, that attempt to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord actually controls the mind like and then one small stick. If there is a very well trained, very smartly trained master of that elephant, control of the elephant, just with one stick it can actually control the whole elephant. Actually, just one related instance I remember. Guruvayur temple is there in Kerala. Many devotees would have visited. So there they have elephants, lot of elephants, and sometimes elephants come for a ceremony also. They carry the Lord on their back, and then it's nice, very ceremonial. So before the elephants get ready, they are brought into temple premises, and the huge elephant will be there. And what they do, that elephant master, controller, whatever you say, elephant owner, he will put one stick to its ear and he'll leave the elephant there and he'll go away. So I asked one local person there that why the stick is put. Why the stick is put there to his ears. So he told, very interesting fact he told. When the elephant is young, very young, and he starts getting trained, they chain him, fully they chain his legs and they put the stick here. So his legs are chained totally, he cannot move. He is just steady there, he cannot move at all. and the stick always touches his ears. So he gets a conditioning that as long as the stick is here, I cannot move. And when they have to move him, they first remove the stick, they unchain him and then move him. So he gets a conditioning, whenever stick is not there, I am free, I can move. Whenever stick is there, I am bound, I cannot move. And in the temple premises, is left open, there are no chains. And they just put the stick and his brain will work like that. Oh, stick is there means I cannot move. He'll stand there till his master comes after 1 hour. He'll roam around everywhere, pick bananas and do whatever he has to do. He will not move because his conditioning is like that. So that is how one is trained. So now here also we see that mind is like an elephant, Balavat Dridam, and when it goes, then it does a lot of destruction in a devotee's life. But this Ankusha, this one stick, which is kept to the mind of a devotee, that is lotus feet of the Lord. So when devotees train themselves in meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, that I'll meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord and I will not get affected by Maya, that conditioning happens. So whenever we remember lotus feet, immediately we'll be saved from Maya. Right? We see Gajendra's pastime. He remembered in the animal body, means elephant body, he remembered prayers of his previous life. Right? What he had practiced praying to the Lord in the previous life, in this life that saved him. Just by getting attached to one prayer, one can be saved. Like that, just getting attached to lotus feet, this elephant kind of mind, which, very formidable it is, not able to control, can be very easily controlled. So that is how this Ankusha is indicative of. Then there is a Dhwaja. Here it's mentioned as banner. Prabhupada mentions it as banner, Dhwaja. And it's called flag or banner. Gives security and safe protection from all sorts of fear. This we see how a flag, how a banner or a flag gives a feeling of security or safety. Many instances we would have heard in pastimes of devotees, that when devotees travel to some olden times, they used to travel by foot. And when they were totally exhausted, then far away they'll see there is a temple, and top of the temple there is a Garud Dhwaja, or there is a Chakra Dhwaja, that it is indicative of Lord Vishnu's temple. Immediately they get relief. Oh, I am nearby to the Lord. Lord is there, I am in proximity of the Lord. Same way in Mahabharata war also. Many times the soldiers or warriors would get discouraged. But when they saw, Arjuna's, flag is there, the Ratha is there, flag is there, they would get energy, enthusiasm. So this banner, it gives a feeling of safety and security. The moment we see, we immediately remember Lord is there. And as far as, in Purushottam Kshetra, the Jagannath Puri said, till whatever extent the Lord's flag is visible on land, that all is Lord's own personal land. That is the spiritual land of the Lord. That's called Purushottam Kshetra. So like that, whenever a devotee meditates on the lotus feet and he sees that in my heart Lord's flag is there, Lord's lotus feet indicated with the flag is there, I'm safe, I'm secure, I'm in Lord's safety, Lord's care, Lord's protection. Then there is Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is explained in Bhagavatam also. Very nicely it is explained. Thunderbolt means Vajra. The lotus feet, there is a mark of thunderbolt on the lotus feet. Otherwise also the lotus feet themselves are considered compared to a thunderbolt. Just like a thunderbolt hits, Indra hits the Vajra on a big mountain and the big mountain gets smashed. Right? Same way, the lotus feet of the Lord, they are like thunderbolt. Anybody who meditates, sins as big as mountains, huge mountains, even that level of sins just get destroyed by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? It gets smashed actually. You just imagine you have a dynamite on a small building and you just explode the whole building. It's smashed to dust. Nothing remains actually. The whole existence is gone. Like that, Lord's lotus feet are there. By meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, all the sins are destroyed. All the sins are vanquished actually. Then another indication, which is mentioned in today's verse also, thunderbolt was there. Then Chhatra. Chhatra means umbrella. So shielded from the incessant rainfall of material miseries. Right? This again comes in Bhagavatam, that the demigods are praying to the Lord in one of the prayers by the demigods, that your lotus feet are like umbrella. Anybody who takes shelter of these even though material miseries will be falling, like if we take an umbrella and go in the rain, rain will be falling everywhere. But the person under the umbrella is not affected by the rain. It's not that rain doesn't fall for him. It falls, but he's totally protected. Like that, one who meditates on the lotus feet of the Lord, who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, for him, material miseries do not affect. And this in Sthit Pragya also it is very nicely explained. That one who has taken shelter of the Lord, right, threefold miseries do not affect his mind anymore. Right? He becomes insulated by those. And we very nicely see this example in Kunti Maharani's prayers and Pandavas. They were always under some kind of trouble. She lists down so many troubles. Vibda, Santuta, Shashvat, Tata, Tata, Jagadguru. So, what is that? There is a verse which mentions that Purushad, Darshanat, Asat Sabhaya, so many are there. So, he was given poison, he was given, then Lakshagra, Vishan Mahagne, Purushad, Darshanat, Asat Sabhaya, Vanvasa Krichata, Mriday Mriday, Aneka Maharatha Sado. So Vishad means poison was given, Lakshagra, Mahagne, Purushad means man-eaters. They were sent to forest where they had to face man-eaters. Then Asasabha of Dhritarashtra, where Draupadi Maharani was about to get insulted. So many miseries they had faced. But Kunti Maharani never lost calm or peace. Yudhishthira Maharaj was never unpeaceful or unsettled. Always stable, always equipoised, because they have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. All these material ups and downs will not affect the mind of a devotee. These lotus feet will protect as an umbrella. Right? We see in our personal lives, we had a lockdown situation was there. Everything was going on as routine, so smoothly, so nicely. But whole world we see, when you get to hear news or when you get to see what's happening outside, everybody is in a precarious situation. Right? So we are totally protected. So much insulation is there. And devotees actually, tumko pata hai ye ho gaya, tumko pata hai wo ho gaya. But outside world is so much anxious about it, so much perturbed by all these things. And devotees, just for them, it's a news. Why? Because knowingly, unknowingly, we are under the protection of the umbrella of the Lord. Right? We may not realize, sometimes we forget. We take it for so granted or so easily that we are under protection. No struggle for existence. Right? Prabhupada says no, that a devotee's life is free from struggle for existence. So this is that freedom, this is that protection, that the Lord will always protect the devotees. So that is what umbrella indicates. Then there is octagon. Octagon means ashtakona. Ashtakona is a 8-sided structure that is also indicated on the lotus feet, and it indicates that the Lord's feet are, the devotees who take shelter of Lord's feet are well protected in 8 directions. Right? So we know there are 8 directions: east, west, north, south, and then intermediate directions in between all these. So a devotee is protected from all these. And another indication is nothing is unattainable by a devotee in all these 8 directions. So when somebody has taken lotus feet shelter, whichever direction he goes, he'll achieve success. And we see that in exemplary life of Srila Prabhupada. Wherever he went, he established Hare Krishna and he just moved on to next. Whichever direction he went, he just established Lord Krishna there. Then swastik. Swastik means, it indicates that, swastik means we know that auspicious symbol of swastik. Nothing is inauspicious for one who holds the lotus feet in his heart. Then there is one more. There is jamun. Jamun, jambu phala is there. The dark color fruit we get in APH. We have a tree also here. So that is also one of the marks on the lotus feet of the Lord. So it indicates that they are the only worshipable objects. The lotus feet are the only worshipable object for the residents of Jambu Dvipa. Then on the left foot, there are 8 marks. First is Shankha. Shankha means conch. So conch means one is rescued from all distress. And we see in Dhruv Maharaj pastime, when Lord appeared, he blessed by touching conch to Dhruv Maharaj's head. Right? So that is indication of blessing the devotees. He blessed him with pure devotion. So conch is indicating of fearlessness and devotion, blessing by the Lord. Then next is Akasha, sky. So how Akasha is marked? Akasha means sky. It doesn't have a shape. So how the sky is marked on the lotus feet of the Lord? How do you find that this is a mark of sky on the lotus feet? So it is marked by two circles. Right? And two circles, they just touch or overlap. So it is marked by two circles, one within the other. That is an indication of sky. So it means that the lotus feet and their glories are all pervading throughout the universe. To whatever extent the sky goes, lotus feet and their glories, their mercy also goes. So there is no place in this universe which is devoid of or which is bereft of Lord's mercy. Only one has to take it. In Bhagavad Gita also Lord says in 5th chapter, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So Prabhupada explains that Loka word in two ways. That Loka word is translated by Prabhupada in two ways. Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods. So Loka means planet. We say Swarga Lok, Prithvi Lok, Golok means planet. And Loka also means people or demigods. People also. Jana is also called Lok. We say Loktantra. Loktantra means government by people, of the people. That's called Loktantra. Lokshahi or that. So Lokaranjanam, Mandanam Lokaranjanam means just pleasing the people. So wherever sky goes, there is nothing in this universe which is not covered by the sky. So there is no place where the Lord's mercy, the lotus feet of Lord's mercy or glory is not spread. Right? So his feet are everywhere. Sarvata Pani Padam. We read in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvataha Pani Padam. Padam means feet. His feet are everywhere, so his mercy is spread everywhere. So devotee who goes wherever in this universe, there is a verse which says that, I'm just unable to recall, whether a devotee goes to Swarga Naraka Tulya Narayana Paras Sarve Kutuschanna Vibhati. Yes. Yes. So wherever a devotee goes, right, he knows that lotus feet are there. The mercy of lotus feet is there, spread all over the universe. For him, there is no place to fear, no place to be afraid of. Right? So this is an indication of the sky mark on the lotus feet. Then there is the Dhanush. Dhanush means bow. This is very interesting. Devotees perpetually be freed from all worries and difficulties. Those who here indication is, those who come to his lotus feet never go back to material world. We say in our routine language also, मुंह से निकले हुए शब्द और धनुष से निकला हुआ बाण कभी वापस नहीं आते. So it's said like that. So the devotees, when they are launched to the spiritual world, this Dhanush indicates that by meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee is shot to the spiritual world as rapid as an arrow. Then he will never come back. Right? So this is the indication. And second is like a very sharp arrow. It pierces everything and just hits the target. So like that for devotee, this arrow here is written, perpetually be freed from all worries and difficulties. So Lord will take care of all these worries and difficulties of the devotee. Right? And then next is calf's hoof print. That is Goshpad. Goshpad it's called. The great ocean of material existence becomes small and insignificant like the water held in a calf's hoof print, and thus is easily crossed over. Right? So we here read this in Bhagavatam. Right? This ocean of material suffering, it's considered to be an ocean. Bhavam Buddhi. Vatsapadam. It becomes Vatsapadam. Means for a devotee who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, for him it's just so easy. How difficult it is for a person to cross over a small puddle caused by hoof print of the calf. Not even a cow, it's calf. Calf means even this much small. So calf is walking and it presses the soil in some place, and impression of his hoof print comes, and some water is spilled. Somebody asks you, can you cross over this water? What are you talking? Correct. There is a big drain is there, some 3, 4 feet, 6 feet, and somebody says, can you cross over? Then you have to think how much I should come, run, jump, and what should be my momentum, what should be my inclination of jumping. You have to think so much. But this much, even small child will playfully, even children, can cross over. So this whole material existence, the ocean of material existence, in which everybody is drowning and the waves are lashing, tossing somebody up and down, it becomes so small as the hoof print of a calf, and you have to just walk this side. So this is what the hoof print of a calf indicates. And then there's a triangle. Okay, so there is a triangle, just simple triangle. So that's called trikona. Devotees saved from the snares of three modes of material nature is the indication. And this triangle also indicates that Lord removes the threefold miseries: Adhyatmik Klesh, Adhibhautik Klesh and Adhidaivik Klesh. So these are removed from a devotee's life when he meditates on the lotus feet of the Lord. And then there is a kalash. Kalash means water pot or pitcher. So it indicates that the lotus feet are akshay. Akshay means imperishable, unemptiable pot. Like we have akshay patra, so it's an akshay patra actually. A golden pitcher full of nectar. What is the nectar? Nectar of the essence of the lotus feet, the mellow of the lotus feet, the prema of Krishna. It's filled with that. How much ever a devotee drinks from it, it never gets emptied. And this is what surprises the Lord also. That why devotees are always after my lotus feet. Make me one speck of dust in your lotus feet. Give me shelter of your lotus feet. My mind is fixed on your lotus feet. I want to take shelter of your lotus feet. Right? Always. So what is that nectar that devotees derive from my lotus feet? So even Lord is amazed by their attraction, and for this they have left everything, all material opulences, all material relationships, just to take shelter, just to grab the lotus feet of the Lord. Their opulences they have left. Big kings have left their palaces, their beautiful wives, children, wealth, servants, everything they have left. People have left so many things, So what is it in these lotus feet for which they are ready to give everything? They are ready to give their lives also, which is so most dear to a person. So to know this, to understand this, what does Lord do? He does the Vattapatrashai Leela. Balam Mukundam, in a small baby form, he is on the banyan leaf lying, and I think Markandeya Rishi got that darshan. And what he saw, that Lord is sucking the thumb of his lotus foot. And he's trying to drink that nectar and understand what is that nectar in my lotus foot, or the nail of my thumb of the lotus foot, that everybody is after this. I should also understand what is it. Of course, Lord knows everything, but to indicate that this is the nectar which is not achievable by anybody, and this golden pitcher or that golden urn, a pot, indicates that it is imperishable. It will never deteriorate, it will never end. Right? And always devotees will relish this nectar. And then is Ardha Chandra, half moon. So the mention is, even gods like demigods like Shiva have decorated their own heads with the soles of his lotus feet, and moon showers cooling rays. So the lotus feet, they shower cooling rays and extinguish the threefold miseries. Right? We see Lord Shiva bearing moon mark. It's called Chandrasekhar. That's the name of Lord Shiva, because he holds a moon on his head. So it indicates that this moon is indicated on the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord Shiva holds the lotus feet on his head. Another indication of this is Lord Shiva receives Ganges on his head, holy Ganga on his head, which is also emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord. So pure devotees like Lord Shiva also accept and place the lotus feet of Lord Krishna on their head. Right? And then last is 19th one is fish, Matsya. Fish cannot be without water. So devotees cannot live without the lotus feet, or the ambrosia, or the nectar flowing from the lotus feet of the Lord. And also, mind is very fickle like fish. By meditation on his lotus feet, one can finally conquer this mind. Right? So fish is supposed to be sometimes very chanchal in its movements. So mind is also like that. But by meditating on the lotus feet, the fish, that restless mind can be controlled. So this is a description, and if one just meditates on these, and one remembers the benedictions given by these lotus feet, he can situate very nicely himself in that devotional meditation towards the Lord. Then further verses also talk about this. We'll discuss in next upcoming classes. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.